Hello everyone, this is going to be another Starcraft 2 replay, this time on Delta Quadrant versus a Protoss opponent. Now when I originally made this new evolution to my fast expand build, I promised that I would put up a replay as soon as I found an all-in Protoss rusher versus me. And frankly, I've played good, 30-40 games since then, and I still haven't faced an all-in Protoss until now. So this is not going to be like a 4-gate or 5-gate rush. However, it is going to be a 3-gate robo, and this robo isn't going to be making observers. It's going to be chrono boosting out immortals. So it's still like a 1-base all-in rush as far as I'm concerned. Just a few more immortals rather than more gateway units. Another thing that makes it good for the rush is that he's scouted me early, and he's at very close spawning distance. You can notice it's a pretty short walk right up to here. I'd say this is even shorter than typical 2-player maps of Zelnaga Caverns and Steppes of War. Oh, he caught me off guard there. Thought I was going to be able to get a kill. Anytime he goes in here, I can usually get the kill. So I send out 2 SCVs, one just to kill the probe if he's there, or to distract the probe. The other one to plant this command center, because I don't want this SCV getting harassed. But since I sent him out, I decided to get a quick scout in, and now that I've seen that he's not here, I'm almost certain that he's in this base just because of how early the scout arrived. And the scout only arrived as a scout. Like, if he arrived early for some sort of cheese, then that might have been like one of his first probes he sent out for whatever reason. So I'm finishing off my wall with the barracks and engineering bay. At the same time, he's chronoed out his first zealot, and now he's chrono boosting warp gates, going down to second warp gate, or second gateway, sorry, and another pylon. Good timing on that, not to get supply caps. And if we go to incoming, see I'm a touch ahead on harvesters, and then as soon as I get this base saturated, I'm going to go ahead fairly significantly in the income category. Third gateway down and the robotics facility. I think he seems timed pretty well. I'm sure he's done this build a few times in a row. I think it's sentry, only one, probably for Guardian Shield rather than for sort of force field. And chrono boosting out his first immortal. Looks like 3 chrono boosts he spent on that, although that's kind of a wasted one. I guess anything to get that out of ASCP is what he is thinking. So I did get a couple pot shots in my planetary fortress. He didn't know I had that fortress until right now, as he hadn't kept up on his scouting. Now he's going to go out my front door. I'm going to pause right here, because this is about the point where he made it up. The build I did this time was, I did 1 barracks, and then as soon as that barracks was done, I made a bunker, and I started pumping it full of Marines from this barracks. Then before I got my second and third barracks, I decided to get my orbital. That won't give me, I'll only be pulling for 1 barracks for a while, so that's bad, but at the same time, it gives me enough resources that once I do get these 3 barracks down with 3 tech labs, I can pump triple Marauders without getting capped in any sort of way, or at least not in minerals. Yeah, so after the orbital, I did throw down 2 more barracks, and then after my first 4 Marines, I threw a tech lab on here, and tech lab went immediately onto these 2 barracks when they were complete. And the reason I decided to go Marines is I was thinking about it, and I don't really... Marines will always have range. Like, you can say, okay, a stalker can sit here and pick on this supply depot, right? And that's outside the range of my bunker. But he still has to put 1 unit on the ramp to get sight. To get sight on the top of the ramp. And if he puts 1 unit on the ramp, that should be within range of my bunker. One thing I like to do usually is leave an SCV behind to repair. I did not do that this match. So right there I've taken out his last zealot and go to his view. Strangely enough, he still has sight. He's at the bottom of the ramp there. This sucks. I'm actually going to lose my engineering bay, and I was going for a 1-0 upgrade. I guess I got supply caps at some point, so I had to use the... I'd use the money on upgrade, and that upgrade's not going to get completed now. Mortal, not echoed well. That's going to go down. And it looks like this Stalker was hit pretty hard from my fortress. So at this point I'm a little worried. I only got Marines left, and yeah, there goes my bunker as well. Shouldn't have pulled them out, but reinforcements coming to the rescue just in the nick of time. And I'm focusing on the Stalkers. I mean, yeah, the Immortal does more damage to my Marauders, so I want him dead. But my Marauder only does good damage to Stalkers, so... So having to pull SCVs here. And they get a pretty good surround on both units, and another Marauder comes out. This I don't mind. We can have 2 Stalkers, so I did get to kill 2 of them fairly fast. That was pretty nice. So that was rough, and with some better micro, maybe not running into the fortress as often, or saving that first Immortal from getting picked off, he probably would have broken through and won the game there. So I will finish off this game, but then I'll come back to this part and see what I can do differently. Just try to examine it and see what changes I can do for next time. But with that said, I did hold it off, and there's that economic edge I was talking about. He's only got 20 harvesters, I'm up to 32, plus I got 2 bases. That just means each harvester is being more efficient. He is attacking the fortress, and with Immortals, especially with 2 Immortals, you gotta be very careful, as the Immortals do a lot of damage to Armored. That's a full 50 damage versus Armored, so they can actually pick down a Planetary Fortress fairly fast. And with those big shots, it really negates the armor too. Because knocking like an attack of 5 down to 2 is huge, but knocking an attack of 50 down to 48 or down to 47, that's not a big deal. Now that I think I got somewhat of an army advantage, I am queuing up all my units outside of my base. Let's back up there. So I did scan right here, and if we look, I can see that this Immortal is shooting at the... Whoops. I can see that's shooting at the destructible debris. See, I can see it firing at the destructible debris. That means 2 things. One, it probably means a good portion of his army is right here, so not under an immediate threat. Another thing means he's probably going to be spending 400 minerals fairly soon on Nexus. So for both those reasons, I figure this is a safe time for me to expand, and not have to worry too much about my unit count. So I do send out these Marauders to blow up my own debris, and at the same time I start to throw down my own command center and moment here. It happens, believe me. I'm not going to wait for it. So if he tries to catch up economically, you have 2 responses. You can try to overrun him, or you can just maintain your economic lead. Notice I'm still not letting up on my harvester count. And I'm getting down command center. There it is. I thought I floated it over. I guess I placed it directly there. Getting up 1 missile turret at the front. This is decent. I mean, it'll work okay versus Dark Templar. I'll still be able to round my round gang team. But his having it completely in the front, like if he enters from this direction, which is his most likely way to enter, it's in a good place versus Void Rays. And for the same reason, I'm going to do a couple turrets along here as well. Just so I got a front wall of turrets versus Void Rays, so you have to come around to the side like here to try to charge up for free. There we can have it. You can obviously see if you hold the all-in rush from Protoss, you're at a gigantic advantage. As long as you don't get lax on your own economy, you can see I've been staying at least 400 ahead in minerals the entire time, as well as doubling them in gas. And if we go to the army count, you can see that money is actually relating. It's relating to a gigantic army. Advantage. 142 over 84. Getting my ghost, got the energy upgrades, and now getting cloak. Fortunately, I don't use any ghost this match on this battle. I decided to just select all my Marauders instead and try to snipe the Colossus with my Marauders. So one thing even though you can guess Immortals is going to switch to Colossus. Was I saying Immortals or I don't know what I was saying. Let me start that whole thing over again. What I was doing was I was highlighting my Marauders to focus on his Colossi, try to snipe them off one at a time. And the reason for that is, like, even though I should have been prepared for Colossus, it's like it's a natural transition after Immortals. I didn't get any Vikings to counter, so I decided to make that my micro priority. So my Ghosts didn't do a whole lot. The Ghosts do really good damage versus light armored units. Look at that, 22 damage per shot. That's pretty sweet, actually. And with Zealots in the front, usually being the meat shields, that usually means I'm going to be firing at light units with those Ghosts. And I believe Sentries even have a smaller range than Stalkers, so they would be in front of the Stalkers as well, which is also nice because they're also light units. So now that I got some Vikings in my mix, I am ready to move out. Only 3 medevacs, it's a little bit low, but I had to sacrifice that just to get the Viking count up.